Welcome back to the FantasyPros YouTube channel. My name is Andrew Erickson, and today we're going to be talking about my top 11 players to trade right now before Week 4 kicks off. But first, if you want a chance to win a signed Jalen Waddle Miami Dolphins jersey courtesy of our friends at Pristine Auction, you need to subscribe to the FantasyPros YouTube channel right now. Comment below on this video, and that's it. We'll be announcing a winner right here on the channel, so make sure to turn on those notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up and to claim your prize. Now, let's get to some trading. Running back Damien Harris, New England Patriots, rest of season rank RB40. In back-to-back weeks, Ramondre Stevenson has outsnapped Damien Harris by a vast margin, 62% versus 38%. Second-year back is taking over this backfield as the preferred pass catcher and most explosive playmaker on offense, while Harris is getting by on just touchdown scores. Sell high on Damien Harris before this offense craters without Mac Jones. I'd be more than happy to sell Harris for an up-and-coming rookie wide receiver like Romeo Dobbs, Trayvon Burks, or Jahan Dotson, or players coming off time missed like DeAndre Hopkins or Chris Godwin. And for instant production, give me Khalil Herbert. Wide receiver Romeo Dobbs, Green Bay Packers, rest of season rank wide receiver 50. With all the injuries to the Packers, rookie wide receiver Romeo Dobbs led Green Bay in targets, ranked second at snap share behind only Allen Lazard in Week 3, although his route participation of 94% ranked first on the team. The head coach talked up Dobbs having a larger role in this contest, and he delivered with 73 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Considering the current state of this receiving core, Dobbs is a massive buy with a starting role in hand forward now that Sammy Watkins is on IR, and an easy schedule over the next 4 weeks that features the Patriots, Giants, Jets, and Commanders. Would rather chase Dobbs' upside than Lazard's 2 touchdowns the past 2 weeks because Lazard's 15% target rate per route run pales in comparison to Dobbs' 22% target rate. Trade Lazard plus for Dobbs or someone like Robert Woods or Isaiah McKenzie. Running back Chase Edmonds, Miami Dolphins, rest of season rank RB35. Chase Edmonds' role is bizarre in the Dolphins offense. He took a back seat to Raheem Mostert for a second straight week, seeing fewer snaps, carries, routes, and targets in Week 3. However, he converted his 2 goal line touches into 2 touchdowns. But because scoring touchdowns is more descriptive and not predictive of future performance, I'd be putting Edmonds on the trade block, hoping I can get a less volatile running back or wide receiver in return. Running backs I like in exchange for Edmonds include Kareem Hunt, Ramondre Stevenson, or even Tony Pollard. Wide receiver Trayvon Burks, Tennessee Titans, rest of season rank wide receiver 45. Trayvon Burks posted just 1 catch in the red zone on 2 targets in Week 3, but his usage was through the roof as the rookie wide receiver ran a route on 96% of dropbacks, leading the Titans. It was by far the most involvement Burks has had all season. And now that he finally has a full-time role on offense, I'm confident the fantasy production will follow. Buy low. I'm not a believer that Robert Woods' 35% target share will sustain into next week. I also fully expect the Titans to find success versus 2 softer pass defenses with the Colts and Commanders the next 2 weeks to fully unlock Burks' ceiling as they roll into their Week 6 bye. And you could probably acquire him for bench depth like Adam Thielen, Allen Lazard, or Russell Gage. Wide receiver DK Metcalf, Seattle Seahawks, rest of season rank wide receiver 28. Of course, the week I decided to bury DK Metcalf, he buries me with 5 catches for 64 yards and 1 touchdown. But Metcalf still only out-targeted Tyler Lockett by 1, 12 versus 11, and is still second on the team in total targets and air yards this season. Currently, Metcalf is the wide receiver 49.5 PPR points per game, Lockett wide receiver 37. The big-bodied wideout also ranks 4th worst in fantasy points scored under expectation because of the less than stellar quarterback play. Weeks like Week 3, where both Lockett and Metcalf hit, are going to be far and few between with Geno Smith at quarterback because they won't be playing the Falcons every week. Sell high in Metcalf's name brand. Again, it took 12 targets, and Metcalf still couldn't crack 65 receiving yards. Based on Metcalf's name brand, you could get a decent return, whether that be Rashad Bateman, Chris Olave, Drake London, or even Gabe Davis. Wide receiver Elijah Moore, New York Jets. Rest of season rank wide receiver 34. You should definitely buy low on Elijah Moore, who is still operating as the number 1 wide receiver on the Jets from a usage standpoint based on his 95% route participation in Week 3, and because he has some prior built-in chemistry with his second-year quarterback Zach Wilson. A quarterback switch could be the kickstart the talented second-year wide receiver needs. Not to mention, Moore's coming off a game where he saw crazy usage downfield with over 180 air yards and 4 deep targets. The upside is there for him to deliver the next 2 weeks in favorable spots versus the Steelers and Dolphins. Both teams rank inside the top 10 in fantasy points and receiving yards allowed to wide receivers this season. You could trade one of the Seahawks receivers, Melvin Gordon, or even Damien Harris for more pretty easily. Wide receiver Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders. Rest of the season rank wide receiver 22. Sell high on Terry McLaurin. Through 3 weeks, Curtis Samuel is dominating the target share with 24%. TMC only has 16% target share with J.D. McKissic and Jahan Dotson, not far behind at 14% each. His expected fantasy points per game based on his deployment thus far is wide receiver 50. His points per game rests at wide receiver 24. McLaurin is getting by on his team-leading air yard share, but that exact type of production is going to make him extremely volatile, especially attached to quarterback Carson Wentz. I'd shoot for a strong return for TMC with guys like Bateman, Gabe Davis, Drake London, or even package him to get an elite guy like Jamar Chase. Running back Rhys Hall, New York Jets, rest of the season rank RB24. Buy Rhys Hall. The Jets rookie running back saw massive target volume over Michael Carter in week 3. He outsnapped Carter for the first time all season, 51% to 49%, and out-targeted Carter 11-2 because he got all the snaps during the 2-minute drill. The Jets running backs carries were split 8-11 in favor of Carter, but both guys rushed for 39 yards. Get Hall now before his massive breakout game. It's coming, especially as the Jets schedule eases up during the second half of the year. 2 of Hall's first 3 NFL games had 9+ targets. For a rookie running back, that should not be overlooked. Neither should his 14% air yard share or 23% target share in week 3. Guys I would easily trade for Rhys Hall include A.J. Dillon, Chase Edmonds, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Speaking of which, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, running back Kansas City Chiefs, rest of season rank RB21. You need to sell the Chiefs running back. He's averaging just under 12 touches per game through 3 weeks and has finished with 0 rushing yards on 7 carries in week 3. But he scored, so his final stat line doesn't look so bad. But pass-catching running back Jerick McKinnon rushed 7 times for 20 yards, ran more routes, played a larger snap share for the second straight week, and also saw work in the red zone. Edwards-Helaire is not the exclusive featured goal line back. Isaiah Pacheco also had a carry inside the 10-yard line. If and when CH stops scoring touchdowns at an unsustainable rate, he ranks 4th in expected fantasy points scored above expectation. You'll be glad you moved on from him sooner rather than later. A week 4 matchup versus Tampa Bay, fewest fantasy points allowed to running backs this season, does not bode well in CH's favor. For the rest of the season, I prefer Ramondre Stevenson, Kareem Hunt, A.J. Dillon, Breece Hall, or even Devin Singletary. Running back Austin Ekeler, Los Angeles Chargers, rest of the season rank RB8. Ekeler's usage has not been great this year. His week 3 snap rate, 56%, matched his season-long average as he continues to lose snaps to a combination of Joshua Kelly and Sony Michel. He had just 4 carries for 5 yards in week 3. For the second straight week, he lost red zone opportunities to one of his backups. 2 of Kelly's 3 touches came inside the Jaguars' 20-yard line. But like in week 2, Ekeler racked up a ton of catches. 8 catches for 48 yards to salvage his fantasy day. Even so, the constant effort to get guys like Michel and Kelly involved might hurt Ekeler's fantasy value in the long term. His overall volume won't be the same as it was last year when he scored 20 touchdowns. I've been looking to flip him for another stud running back that is not seeing as much of a work split load or for an elite wide receiver. I'd rather have Nick Chubb or Javonte Williams. Even elite wide receivers like Jamar Chase or Devontae Adams that have disappointed lately aren't out of consideration for Ekeler. Week 4's matchup versus the Texans is juicy, so I'd be looking to sell high after that game if possible, but don't pass up a deal if you can get one done this week. Can't forget that the Chargers' stud tackle Rashawn Slater is out for the season. Running back Joe Mixon, Cincinnati Bengals, rest of season rank RB4. Mixon was a non-factor as a rusher, just 12 carries for 24 yards in week 3, but got the receiving usage yet again. 7 targets while running around on 64% of Joe Burrow's dropbacks. With it now being 3 straight weeks of him going scoreless, despite bell cow usage, the Bengals running back is a screaming buy. He went 0 for 3 for his touches inside the 5-yard line in week 3. Positive touchdown regression is coming his way. Mixon is tied for first in the NFL in carries inside the 10-yard line, but still has 0 touchdowns. He ranks number 1 in fantasy points scored below expectation at running back as the current RB 19.5 point scoring. Keep in mind, Jonathan Taylor was the RB 29 through the first 3 weeks of last season due to a lack of touchdowns. We all saw how that played out. I'd want Mixon over guys like Austin Ekeler, Derrick Henry, or Aaron Jones. That completes my 11 players to trade right now before week 4 kicks off. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and share with all your non-league mate friends. And before you go, if If you want a chance to win a signed Jalen Waddle Miami Dolphins jersey, courtesy of our friends at Pristine Auction, you need to subscribe to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel right now, comment below on this video, and that's it. We'll be announcing a winner right here on the channel. So make sure to turn on those notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up and to claim your prize.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our featured videos. And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Fantasy Pros, so you can get the latest news and updates to give you the edge you need in your fantasy league.